Okay. Now, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. This is kind of the anxiety card, in that this person seems to have put herself in a self-imposed prison. And by that, I mean she's surrounded by these swords, but she could leave it at any time. The water's not overwhelming her. She can easily step over it, step through it, step across it. Her binds are not exceptionally strong. She could slip them. If she just put her face into her shoulder, she could even get rid of the blindfold. But for whatever reason, she's putting herself into this place of anxiety and fear. Sometimes when it seems random, like just looking overview at the cards, it seems kind of random. So sometimes that can have to do with early childhood issues that are affecting us in a toxic way in the present tense. Think inner child work, or it could be past life issues, or could be lingering energy from previous situations even. Because the cards themselves look pretty darn good. But it will mean that if this is your internal state, you will need to find some way to balance that out through positive energy, thoughts, behaviors, etc. Possibly talk therapy, anything that, or just talking to a good supportive friend who's encouraging, to get you out of your head a little bit, right? Now, this Knight of Cups energy, this has to do with someone, a possible water sign, like a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, who comes forward in an offer of love. Again, this is a stream that can easily be crossed, waded through, what have you. But this is someone who's bringing love or information or something loving. Or it could even be that you're moving in a positive direction towards something that you do love, something that brings you joy. There's enough other cards in here that make me think, though, that this may have to do with a romantic relationship for you. So I really don't want to avoid that. And that could have something to do with this newfound anxiety you may be experiencing. For a lot of us, we learn how to relate to our mate based on the relationship between our parents or the significant adults bringing us up. So it doesn't have to be biological parents, could be mom and mom's boyfriend, our stepfather, or whatever that dynamic, right? So sometimes this type of anxiety is related to that. There has to do with a surrender of control that comes when we become involved with somebody. Now, the basis of the situation, it looks like a wedding bower. In fact, this even looks like 1111 if you check out these polls. 1111 is, it's a symbol of twin flame energy. If you're not sure what twin flames are, there are lots of videos out there. I'm trying to keep this video relatively brief. So, but that's something interesting that you can look up, would be what's the significance of 1111, and some of these numbers. They have to do with leveling up, spiritually speaking, moving up to your higher level. It has to do with spiritual ascension. So we see here in the middle of this Knight of Cups who comes bearing love to you, the King of Cups. The King of Cups, again, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is a person who is very loving towards you. Now, depending on your age, the King of Cups could indicate a father or father figure. But if you identify as a queen or as a king yourself, most likely this is somebody who's a partner. And again, it doesn't have to be homosexual, heterosexual, opposite sex, whatever. It's more about the energy. This is somebody who is very comfortable in the world of business, but comfortable with his or her feelings, and is loving towards you. Positive energy. This is someone who is marriage minded, and that could be scaring the hell out of you. If you have come from a family of divorce or unsettlement, parental abandonment, it can be very scary to you to be thinking, till death do us part with someone else. And the basis of the situation is this Four of Wands right here. And we also have on your heart, we've got this King of Cups person. So this person's making you a wedding proposal, it seems. And you're scared to death of it. You're going to be thinking. And if this card indicates anything, possibly overthinking. It's a good thing to know where you are and to assess things from a dispassionate point of view, to look at the world at large and see, what do I feel comfortable with? You're okay to say, that is to say, you have all the permission, all the capability in the world, if you need to do it, to slow down. and to say, that's okay, or I'm not ready to move in, or you can move in, but I don't want to get married, or you can have a key, but I don't want you to move in just yet, or I need space. You have the right to assert that. Whether you have the capability of asserting that or not, that's your personal stuff. But it may be helpful if you are having a problem speaking your mind to do that. Now, Libra doesn't tend, historically speaking, at least from the Libras I've known, you don't tend to be very shy about speaking up. But then again, there's something about getting married and romantic relationships that can mess us up, especially if we have had troubled relationships with our parents, or if our parents had troubled relationships with one another. We do take a lot of the messaging from our childhood. We internalize it to such a deep, deep level that it can affect us years later, even if everything else seems to be going just fine, like our business careers, and we make sense and we're not living chaotic lives and so on. Sometimes people say, will you marry me? And it freaks us out. And that can be a normal response, especially if we haven't done the inner child healing work that we need to do to kind of release some of the toxicity from other people that we in turn have internalized. A lot of times our fear of abandonment comes from having been abandoned emotionally or physically or both by our father. Now, this card indicates a soulmate relationship. We see the lion up here, and of course that makes me think of a Leo, but it doesn't have to be. You've got a lot of water in here. You do have some fire, like this is fire, right, with these wands. And with the Two of Cups, this is also a fire energy. But the cups themselves are water. This lion could remind us of the Strength card, which is the Leo card, or just Leo lion. But again, it doesn't have to be. So this Two of Cups is about soulmate energy. And that's kind of what you're thinking. You're thinking that this person that you're interested in is that person for you. You're thinking that they are that person for you, that they are your soulmate relationship. Soulmates and twin flames they're not necessarily the same thing. Like soulmate could be a karmic relationship, one that we have for the purpose of learning a lesson. That could be a soulmate. In this would be a soulmate romantic type relationship. But usually this is an indication of true love, like a very good balance in our relationship. But still, there's something that you feel concerned about, that you're not quite sure about. There's a sense almost as if you're getting away with something or leaving something behind, or if the other person is going to be. This really isn't in your headspace, though. This is more in the center of the reading. There's a place where you feel like this person's going to be taking something from you or stealing from you, running game, playing tricks, doing something negative. It's hard for you to believe that this could possibly be a balanced relationship. I really think that some of you may have been hurt in the past. Previous relationship, parent relationship, whatever that looked like. And that's kind of playing with your mind. This person's crept out of these tents carrying these swords. They are leaving clues behind that they've done something hinky or that they're not up to some good. And there is a sense here of wanting to survey the situation, survey the damage, and make sure that it's not working against you. This may have to do with trust issues, too. Because overall, these cards all put together, the fact that they're in the same reading, there's only 9 cards here. And like 5 of them are significant in romantic relationships. Now, we do see this energy here, and this is a sense of being left out in the cold. But I'm wondering if this doesn't tie back to this here, that you're afraid that you're going to be missing out on something else. You're going to be focused on whatever this, sickness unto death or whatever that is, that you're going to be missing out on some of the beauty that life has to offer. And again, this could come from that place of worry and some heart chakra healing that needs to occur. And that can happen through talk therapy, through Reiki, through a bunch of different means. In keeping with this idea of surveying your universe, this is kind of going within and having that meditation place, trying to determine if this is the best thing for you. There's a part of you that does not trust this Knight of Cups, but the Knight of Cups is good energy. When I look at these together, it kind of is, it's disconnected. It's like, here's this person offering you love, offering you possible marriage and so on. And you're thinking they're trying to steal from you or get away with something. Or could it be that you're afraid that this person is involved with somebody else and that they're trying to run game, or whatever that is. Some meditation may help you calm and relax and heal some of your pain from previous relationships that might be leaving you stuck and potentially missing out on a positive opportunity. Now, this Six of Pentacles up here has to do with generosity. Are you fearing poverty? Do you have a poverty mindset? Because this right here is about generosity. It's about give and take. It's a wonderful thing to see in a relationship because it would be, two people that sometimes you're the giver, sometimes you're the taker, but there's a good, healthy balance in that. The card in the middle, of course, would be the poverty mindset. And then this Four of Swords over here would be, I need to kind of take a rest and figure some things out. And again, that's a good position to be in. It can't hurt. If somebody loves you, they're going to be willing to wait for you too. Not indefinitely, not forever, but there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I need to take a little time and space to make sure that I'm ready for this next step of my life because it is serious. Especially if you're the one that wants to play it for keeps, right? You want it for keeps. So get a little more, do some meditation, some relaxation. Communicate openly with your partner. Let them know what you're looking for, or that you do need a little bit more space or a little more breathing room. There's nothing wrong with asking for that. You're entitled to ask for that. And if they really love you, they won't want to hurry you or push you into something you don't feel ready for. Excuse me a minute. Let me shuffle these cards all right. So we have reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. All your hard work and effort is paying off. Glory, triumph, and success are yours. If you've given your power away, now is the time to reclaim it. It's time to stand in your own light. A destination is less of a place, but more of a new way of seeing the world. Your dreams are moving to fruition. If you have any incomplete projects or unresolved relationships, this is the time to complete them. This is an important part of reaching your destination. Take time to celebrate and acknowledge your successes in life. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know the voyage was long and there were many adventures along the way. But as your trek reaches its destination, there's a feeling of joy and celebration. It's important to stop and rest and congratulate yourself for who you are and for what you've done. The Traveler forgives those who on the voyage were less than honorable. Release any feelings of resentment, fear, and sadness that you may have gathered along the road. You've reached your goal. Let everything else go. You're a majestic being who can bring light into the hearts of others. Celebrate and honor yourself. You are so worth it. What a beautiful card. I mean, as I was reading, I was seeing any number of these flashing. Like I was seeing the celebration that comes up in here. I was seeing about releasing the hurts and the past resentments, right? And taking time to go within. Letting go of the pain and the rejection, right? So many of these cards that were illuminating. This truly was speaking to you on this, right? That you deserve to be happy, but we do, in fact, need to release the pain from the past in order to be able to claim what is rightfully ours, to be able to claim our happiness, and to be able to step into this new life that we've been wanting.